So the police come in, they distribute, they do a class, everybody gets a certificate. I didn't get one. I was the only one that didn't get one.
Shocking.
So me and my son were picking up La Colombe's at Giant the other day.
Okay.
Across the parking lot is Officer Kenny's Christmas tree stand.
Really?
He comes walking out.
No way. Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious. This is an absolute true story. I'm walking this way with my son. He's walking this way with his grandson. And I said, "Hey, Officer Kenny." And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And we started talking rapping for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh,
I didn't bring up the fact that he failed me for dare.
Did he fail you or did you fail? Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and everything in between. Join us as we take you along our own brokerage building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of business experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
Hey everyone, welcome into another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm your host, Tim Garrity, for the day.
And I'm Sean Mooney.
Today, Sean, is our 50th episode.
Is that so?
So we're doing it live, as you can see.
So want to mention that we're live right now. And if for whatever reason you can't watch live because this is the middle of a workday on a Thursday, no problem. It's going to come out next week.
I told people to set their DVRs this morning.
I'm like, make sure your VHS has a blank tape, not one that's full.
Well, you can override it.
It's true. All right, so a couple of things we want to talk about, some ground rules. We will ask for comments. So if you guys are watching live, you want us to give you a shout out, you got some questions for us, please feel free to comment. We can see all of them. And I think we should start off with for our 50th, besides it being also a top 3 episode, is I think we should get into a little bit of the podcasting journey. And if you haven't been watching or listening since Sean and I have started this just about a year ago, a lot of the stuff we like to talk about to help our listening, watching audience is we like to be tactical. We want to talk about like the boots on the ground, business tips, tricks, hacks, the reasons that people would want to listen to this and up their game for what they're doing, because Sean's been growing his business for over 10 years. I've been in real estate for 15. I had a brokerage for 10, so I got 15 years of entrepreneurial experience. And I think going through the podcasting journey is a good way for us to stay on task, on brand, keep it tactical, and kind of go through some of the things that we've done.
I was having a conversation the other day, and I was telling someone, if you own a business, you should have a podcast.
I agree.
And maybe not a podcast, but you need to be in the lane of video and getting that exposure online through social media, through whatever platform. But it's and podcasting being one of the ways to distribute that type of video content.
It is like
super important.
So many people talk about video today. So how to build your business, how to look your best on social media. Obviously, YouTube is video based.
Speaking of looking best, Sean, you look great today.
I even shaved the beard and did a mustache for my friend Sean over here because the look wouldn't have been complete.
I wonder if Obey is going to send you the check for this week's episode.
And if you can't tell, the Obey hat that Sean picked out for me is pretty ridiculous, but right on brand as well.
Gamma Bay.
So let's talk about video. So here's something I want to talk about with podcasting.
Yep.
So this was the summer of last year. So summer of 2023. Mooney and I were on a phone call and we were just BSing about business. How's his business doing? How's mine? Just catching up like we normally do. And I had been a guest on a couple podcasts. One was Stay Paid. What's up, fellas? And then also I was on Real Estate Rockstars. Also the Atomic Real Estate Show, another Philadelphia-based real estate podcast. What's up, CJ? And being a guest on a few different podcasts, Mooney was like, hey, you should start a podcast. And then literally the light bulb moment went off and I said, correction, we should start a podcast. What was, when I said that, what was your initial reaction? Was you're like, yeah? You're like, no?
No. Like, we should do a podcast. No.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know? Like,
you weren't feeling it.
No, I don't do video. I don't do
At the
social.
moment.
I don't, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're not out there.
out there. So for me, I was like,
Yeah. You're like, I don't know about that.
yeah.
All right, so I'm going through the steps here so people can see like how long it took to really get to this point. So that was the summer of 2023. I don't know if it was July or August. We recorded our first episode October 25th, 2023. So it took months from that idea to talking about it, to forming an LLC, to just kind of getting it all out. Like, how do we want to do this?
Well, we also talked too, like, how do we want to do it, right? And we were like, we could shoot it in my basement. You could come to my office. We could find a shop that shoots it. And so we made some calls to some local, there was some different outfits that...
different studios.
Yeah. But they weren't, I don't even know if they were studios, just an offering for different services. And then, you know, finally landed with Young Junk, Terry, Dylan.
Our man Dill, say what's up, man.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, Dill McGonigal. He's the best.
Kev's giving a hand
Terry
today,
Leahy,
too.
he runs the studio.
Terry, are you out there? You watching? You listening?
What's up, Ter?
So, yes, it was a long process, a couple months to kind of like formulate everything, put everything where it needed to be.
Yep.
The LLC, the filing, all of that, to get to the point where we were like, okay, now we're ready to like go in.
Next Wednesday, let's go into the studio.
And what do we talk about?
And record something.
Yeah.
And here's one fact. This is an absolute true fact about Bricks and Risk. We have done all 50 episodes in one take. Now, the only time we ever had to cut out was because, unfortunately, the power cut out in here, maybe like twice, I think, since we started doing this. And they were both during interviews. Am I correct in saying that? We were Zooming with people?
Yeah.
You definitely were, yeah.
Yeah. Dill knows.
I'll never live it down.
We're like, patch it in.
We're like, did we get struck by lightning here?
Right. But so we had those moments, but every single thing we've done has literally been one take. And doing this live today feels comfortable. One, we've done this 49 times. Plus we have some that haven't come out yet, so we've done it more than that.
Yeah.
And everything we've done has just been shooting from the hip. I mean, we come prepared, we have notes, we know what we're talking about. But at the end of the day, we want this to be natural. We want it to be authentic. We want people to kind of get to know who Mooney is and who I am.
Don't downplay the homework, because when we have a guest on, I mean, we're really trying to get background information on them. We're trying to present them with questions where we kind of want the conversation to go.
Yep.
So yes, we are shooting from the hip as it comes natural, but there is a lot of homework that we're doing beforehand.
There's a lot of prep
to kind of put this together.
Agreed. Yeah. So a couple stats here. So this is our 50th. So for the 49, we've had 22 episodes where we interviewed guests. Some of our notable guests were Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing New York, as well as Owning Manhattan. We've had Bob Berg on the show. He's the author of Endless Referrals, as well as The Go-Giver. And then we've also had local celebrity Mike McCann in residential real estate. He's been one of the top real estate teams in Philadelphia for decades.
We are still, so two things. Ryan Serhant was not on Netflix prior to coming on our podcast.
That's true.
Make a note. And Mike McCann continues to outperform his episode on our
That's
podcast.
right, Mike. You're number one.
I don't know what the secret sauce is. Maybe we'll have him come back and explain it every single week.
Well, he's more the listen to downloaded, which again, and you can watch, on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think one of the most, I can't remember what the most watched one was, but he's right up there as well. I think overall he's got the most.
I mean, it's just continues, and we're super thankful that he was able to share his time with us.
That we are. So thanks, everyone. Also, thanks to everyone listening and watching right now, as well as listening and watching us for almost a year. I feel like every time I go out, whether it's friends, family, networking, seeing people in my industry, like most people talk about Bricks and Risk when I see it. It's absolutely humbling and flattering that people support what we're doing and are actually getting something out of it. Even if you're only getting laughs, I mean, there's a reason we're dressed like this right now, because we really don't care what people think. We're just going to be ourselves and have a good time.
I think some of the stats too, which we didn't put up or pull for the show, but
yeah,
it's just crazy to see when you get the analytics behind all of the different measurements on the different platforms.
And you're the analytics dude.
I am. But like to see like Canadian people from New Zealand, Ecuador, are tuning into our show to listen to
different areas of the country. I've met people through social media, different areas of the country, solely from doing this in different markets.
Oh yeah, I was talking the other day. Amy is from Sioux Falls.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the ability to like tap into these different people.
What's up, Amy Stockburger?
But just cool to see. Maybe they're all Philly transplants. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
But just cool to see when you're looking at the different numbers in it.
It is awesome. All right, so here's what we're going to do. To get into our 50th live episode, we're going to do a top 3 episode. And what we do in a top 3 is I give my top 3, Sean gives his top 3, and what we're doing top 3 of today is our favorite clips, our favorite moments from Bricks and Risk. So number 3, coming in hot for Tim, is the Rita's Water Ice or Water Ice special with Keon Whiting. Go ahead and let that one rip, Dill. Go to Rita's. My daughter loves it. She's like the small vanilla custard with the rainbow sprinkles. That's the way she rolls.
Right.
I'm a peanut butter milkshake, dude. Like,
Hey.
people are probably like, what? And I'm like, yo, try it. It's awesome.
Okay.
So tell me about you're hustling in real estate. You built a book
Wait,
of
you're
business.
not going to ask him his favorite flavor? You just went through your whole family's menu.
You know what I'll do? I'll let you ask him.
Keon, what's your favorite flavor?
It depends what day of the week it is.
Yeah, you don't have to go
Are you a water ice guy? You a water ice guy, or are you an ice cream custard dude?
Gelato?
I get a misto.
Oh, okay.
A green apple misto is my
There it is.
way.
There it is.
and a soft pretzel, and that's
Nice.
my lunch.
All right. So,
All right.
So now we know.
Now we know.
Am I
Yeah.
good?
Now you can move on.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
cool. That was great. All right. So
We had pretzels today. Where were they from?
from Tasty Twisters in Roxborough, thank you, Tasty Twisters,
Ah,
for lunch prior to our
amazing.
live episode. All right. So why don't you go over your number 3?
Wait, I'm not going to weigh in and give you my thoughts
Yeah,
on
you can.
this?
You can.
Jeez, man.
You can. I am wearing your shirt.
Number
so
one, it's
you can talk.
flat out violation for saying water ice.
Water ice?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's not water ice, it's water ice.
Well, I don't say it water ice. I say water ice.
You're wrong.
Okay, cool. To each their own.
Well, no, I think you said, I used to say water ice
I
until
always
I
went
met
back and
Maria,
forth.
and she's from Colorado.
It's true. There's
He
truth to
says
that. Thanks, honey,
water.
for straightening me out English-wise. There have been times, even when I was young, where I would say the water. I would usually say water ice, I think, growing up. And then I would say, you go to the shore, the South Jersey shore. You're obviously familiar if you're watching from the Philadelphia area. I say, oh, man, the water's really cold today. Oh, do you feel the water yet? The water's cold.
Do you say crick or creek?
I would say creek.
Again,
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, I don't know where your accent
Dill.
comes from.
What do we got
Mooney
here?
says nail.
Number 3
Number 3.
on the hat and shirt combo. If you're watching, this is my quote. This is the Sean P. original that I came up with. It's trademarked, patented. Don't try to steal it. Still, here's my quote. This is a Sean P. original.
Okay.
Trusting nobody is easier than trying to pick who to trust.
You made that up?
Yeah,
That's pretty damn good.
it's pretty good, right?
Hey, Dill, can we quote that and put it on the bottom with like a dash that
Get
says
like
Sean
one of those
P?
memes with like me thinking with bubbles coming out of my head.
That would be awesome. That was a good one, bro.
That was good.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, I know how you operate. You're always glass half empty. So why wouldn't trust no one be your quote?
Trust nobody.
All right.
The great Dave Nunes once said, if you own a business and you got 4 nuns working for you, one of them is stealing.
Whoa. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Dave. I got to
Shout
meet
out,
you
Dave.
someday. All right. So here we go. Number 2 from Tim is starting a business in a broom closet. Let it rip, Dill. When you started your business, you started in like this little broom closet. You know, when you cut the desk off. You know,
Half a phone.
Yeah, you're bringing your lunch. You know, it's
That's
like
the name of
the
my
phone had one of those little foam things on it, so you could take calls like this. Like that's how you were rolling, because that didn't matter. It wasn't about having this really nice shiny office where you could impress people with it. You knew day one when you started Mooney Insurance Brokers, this doesn't matter. What matters is how I treat people, how I handle my business, how I conduct myself. And most of that is done over the phone, on email, text, you know, all sorts of ways. Some of it's done in person.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Your focus day one was on that. And look at the organization you have today.
There you go.
All right. So if I may, let me comment on that one real
Let's
quick.
go.
The reason I like that one so much is it really, I feel like, hit home a lot of what we talk about here, which is building your business on relationships. And if you build your business on relationships, it's not to say a nice shiny office is not going to help you. I've had a big, beautiful office at one point in my career, and it was awesome. But I think deep down, as we talked about in that episode, was it really is about taking care of people. And if you're taking care of people, the office doesn't matter.
I would say I love it because it's, as a business owner, it's the grind, right? It's like the beginning stages of starting a business. And like every business owner out there that started, you know, most of them that started from nothing or just kind of grew it out of the ground, is everyone's got those stories.
Yeah.
You know, we had Sean Gavigan on. He was telling us about it, you know, his story and, you know, how he started. So I think,
Didn't he like remortgage his car?
yeah,
That's what he did.
yeah. He's like, God, the car just,
I could take 10 grand out of that.
yeah.
Let's go.
So I think that a lot of entrepreneurs share that kind of idea of the struggles to get off the ground and get going. And it just, you know, that is the difficult part and the sacrifice that business owners make.
Yep.
And so I think, you know, a lot of people that have gone through it can really resonate with that.
Yeah, I agree, man. All right.
Number 2,
You're up, Tim.
2 on Tim's list today is
On your list.
on my list. I'm me at Tim.
Oh, yeah, right.
Garrett Maroon, who runs a real estate office down in Virginia Beach, I believe.
that area. Yep. Runs a real estate team with EXP.
Great episode, great guest, tons of stuff to share. So I really love that. And to kind of piggyback on what you were saying about our podcast and such a focus on building relationships. And this is kind of what Garrett talks about here.
Yep.
The only way to really own your business is to have relationships that consistently produce repeat and referral business for you, because no one can take your relationships away from you. So as I got deeper into that and just said, man, I got to master this really well because I want to grow and I want to build something that no one can take from me. You know, I really started to dive in and try to understand what that is. But I think there's so much data that just proves it doesn't mean this is the only thing you should do, right? Maybe you should do multiple other things, but the foundation of who you are in business should be built on relationships, because it's the lowest cost, highest return lead in the industry. And it's the only thing you actually have ownership of.
Before we wrap with this, the chat board is starting to fill up. So anybody out there that wants to drop a comment in, do it now so that we'll be able to get to your comment by the end of the show.
Absolutely. All right. So, number 1.
What'd you think about Garrett?
Oh, sorry about that. Garrett, that was no offense to anyone we've talked to, because I love all of our interviews and they all have
You don't think
value
you're allowed
in
to say
different
that.
ways. I'm allowed to say that. I'm just being honest. Garrett was my favorite person to talk to because he's one of the people that inspired me to do my own podcast. And when you had mentioned that to me in the summer of last year and said you should do a podcast, one of the first people I talked about, because when I heard him as a guest and him just authentically talking about how he grew his business through relationships, it was like an aha moment for me to be like, man, this is a guy that's speaking my language. And it's hard. It's hard to find that in the podcast world. It's hard to find that in the YouTube world. If you're just looking for information, look, we all want to get better. Like when you're in business, when you're in sales, business, you're running a small business, insurance, real estate, finance, whatever you're doing, like we all watch and listen to different things to get better at what we do. And he was definitely one of the inspirational people behind.
Did you know him beforehand? Can you give the backstory with Garrett about like maybe you talked to him before, didn't know him, and how you got him on as a guest, and kind of give people an idea?
Yeah, so I didn't know him personally. I heard him on the Stay Paid podcast with Luke Akery and Josh Stike. What's up, boys? And then I texted Luke and just said that episode like was unbelievable. He's a superstar. And that was my first time like, you know, talking about him to someone after I watched this episode. Then Luke had him on. He did, I believe it was like a live webinar once. Yeah. And Garrett was a guest. So I got to see him again. And then Garrett's been on a bunch of podcasts, so you can listen to his stuff. You got Spotify or Apple Music or
he's great.
Amazon.
He's all over.
He's all over. And honestly, like when I knew I wanted to have him on as a guest, I just reached out directly and just said, hey, we both know Luke. This is how I discovered you through his podcast. I've watched your other stuff. Please go check out Bricks and Risk, you know, to see if you think it's a good fit for you. And he was like, I'd be honored, you know, just a great stand-up guy, and said, I'd love to be on your podcast. So that's really how it came to be.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. This is Tim, your favorite Bricks and Risk co-host. But don't tell Sean. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I'll get right back to it in a moment. Our audience grows through word of mouth. So if you would please take a moment of your time and give us a review on the platform you're on, that would be fantastic. Please also help spread the BNR word by sharing your favorite episode with a friend. We greatly appreciate your time and trust. Now, back to the show. All right. Am I going number one now? Sure I'm good?
Numero uno.
Sure I'm good, Mr. Water?
You're going to get, like, I'm surprised this board isn't full of hate mail saying...
Do you know what? I've seen it. Sometimes people spell it W-O-O-D-E-R, which is how I would spell water. Other people sometimes spell like W-U-D-D-R, which I would say like is water.
I would go O-O-D-E-R.
That's what I would
do. Or
do.
if I was spelling Mooney, I would go M-O-O-N-E-E.
That's true, which is probably why you spelled it that way.
All caps.
Yeah, no trick spelling.
No trick spelling.
All right, so number one for Timmy G, my favorite moment through 50 episodes of Bricks and Risk.
Wait, let me cut you short.
Yes.
Is this a short about real estate or insurance?
This is the best short that has hit the Bricks and Risk airwaves as well as YouTube. It's the Apple iPhone versus the Android Samsung. Let it rip, Dill. I got one more question, okay? And this is probably the best question we're going to get to today. So,
all right.
So you chose to buy a Droid instead of an iPhone.
Yeah.
And this was years ago, okay?
What year was that?
You got to tell me. Why do you still continue to live with that choice today? This was my favorite question.
This is a question.
This is an actual question.
It's a very professional podcast.
You're on the hot seat. You're going to have to
professional
answer
podcast. I didn't want to get a new charger.
Dude, that was a good comeback. Let me tell you.
I like that one because you can hear my laugh in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few episodes where you can hear Dill laughing in the background. He's got our same sense of humor,
It's
which
like,
is nice.
You can't hear the people downstairs at the Fright House, but you can hear
me
Dill
cracking up my cackle.
And if you're from the Philadelphia area, where we record this podcast is at Yunk Junk Studios. It's above the old Chemistry, if you remember that, or the old Mad River. And now it's Brian Corkadillis's haunted house. I forget the exact. Oh, Lincoln Mill Haunt.
Yeah.
Lincoln Mill
They got
Haunt.
a Christmas one coming up shortly. So,
So shout out to them as well.
Go out and get your Christmas tickets
That's right.
for the Fright House.
All right. What you got, Moon?
So I'd like to spend a little more time on that topic,
Sure.
if we could.
Sure, I'd love to.
I think the people would like to hear a little more.
About like why we talk about that?
Yeah.
You mean breaking your stones?
Yeah, why is it even so why do you even bring it up? This is a professional real estate business, entrepreneurship, insurance podcast. And you just
That's
decided to insert
That's true.
a phone topic.
Well, one, if you know me personally, you know I'm very sarcastic. I like to laugh as well as make people laugh. We've been making fun of Sean and his droid in friend groups for probably the better part of 10 years.
I've never owned an iPhone.
I know. You also don't wear jeans. It's another thing we make
I
fun
was
of you
thinking
about.
the last time I owned jeans,
You wear stuff like this.
Yeah.
You wear like a corduroy purple hat and a shirt with screen printed like marriages from like 1975.
I think it's a funeral.
Could be a funeral. That looks like a... No, it's a wedding dress. Come on, bro. You don't know your own shirt?
Call and sheest. I think it's an advertisement on your shirt.
Could be.
There's a tuba, a guy's portrait here.
All right, what's your number one, bro?
Vicious Marshmallow is weighing in.
Yeah, what's up? Live reaction.
Hey, Vicious Marshmallow.
Thanks for commenting.
Live reactions.
That's right. This is what a live episode's all about.
This is new to me.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in, Vicious Marshmallow.
Love it.
My number one is what I self-titled the short Insurance Tinder.
Let it rip. So this is how we present our interest in the property. And again, you don't want to expose your client's leverage. So when I go through that offer, I'm trying to say, look, I'm trying to let them know we're interested without telling them exactly what you're going to do. But like, let's be professional about it. Let's make sure we got your pre-approval letter. Let's make sure we have the BFI, the buyer's financial information, signed seller's disclosure, lead paint disclosure, agreement of sale, everything. Like,
It's kind of like dating.
yep.
So you want to let the other party know you're interested, but not too interested.
Man, that's been a long time. A couple decades since we had to do that.
Yeah.
One.
Just rolling back.
Going back and like, is that how it went down?
I think so.
Is that how we
Been
got
a
married?
minute. Or more like a bus party or
Is that how we had
something
kids?
with some jungle
Yeah.
juice.
Might have been a bus party with Jungle Juice somewhere in Philadelphia. That was a good one.
That was pretty good.
Dude, do you know what's funny about that clip? That is the opening scene from our first episode.
What do you mean?
So we released that episode first. And if you go to episode number 1, I don't even remember what the title of it is.
It
I think it was like
wasn't
closing
influenced.
clients.
What was it?
I think it was like how to close a deal. Or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It was prepping and closing clients.
Prepping and closing
That's
clients.
the
yeah.
opening scene to prepping and closing clients.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about
and
that?
and again, since we've been recording podcasts now, audio and video for about a year, just over a year. We did, what do we have? Maybe 15, 20 episodes before we even released our first one.
Something like that.
And this is a tip. Again, we want this to be educational. We want people to walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets. It's what we say all the time. Trying to get better at your business, your craft, whatever you're doing. Talking about the valuable nuggets of why we did that, why we built up content. We didn't ever want to be recording podcasts from behind. And I'll give you an example. Let's say we recorded 1 episode and we released it the next week. Well, our goal was to have 1 per week. Some people do it once per month. Some people do just release podcast episodes when they feel like it. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. But what Sean and I wanted to do from day one is we wanted to be consistent with the content, the material of our podcast, so that people can actually listen and watch every week and they can rely on us for new content. And when we recorded those 15 plus videos, it was so nice to be like, all right, let's put out number 1, knowing that we're 3 months, 4 months ahead of the game. And to this day, even doing it after a year, we've never been behind. And
Crazy that my pick was actually, I didn't even know that where it fell in line, but crazy that it was the first one.
that was the clip from episode number 1. That opened up Bricks and Risk to the world. And I remember I sent it out to my neighbors. I have a neighborhood text chat. And I told everyone, hey, you know, I just started a podcast. Check us out, whether you're in business or not. Appreciate your support. And some people comment on that. They're like, whoa, talking about, you know, bus parties and jungle juice in Philadelphia. And here's an interesting one about that. Jungle juice was actually a term in Colorado. What's up, Maria? Of a bootleg town where they used to sell booze. That's where the term comes from.
How about that? I was shout out to my cousin, Sid Hodgson.
What's up, Sid?
It must have been right after that play, and I saw him, and he's like, hey, that line about, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, that was a good line. And I was like, wait, you saw it? Like,
yeah.
Like you watched it?
I love it.
So like we get a lot of that stuff where people are like, I guess I'm kind of caught off guard where people are like, yo, that was a great bit about this, or hey, that insurance information that you shared, like that was really good, you know, that sort of thing. You get like some of that as well?
Yeah, you do. It's like, here's another way I can put it. So when I started in real estate, I've talked about this on many episodes. I started blogging. So I was writing content. It was content marketing back then, almost 15 years ago, which was probably a little bit ahead of its time. And I was writing blog content about real estate, about development, about stuff to do in the city of Philadelphia, the surrounding area, Atlantic City, Lancaster, you know, the Jersey Shore, like all these places. And when I would write all this content, I had hundreds of blog posts in my first, 5-7 years. And I would go out to like a barbecue. I go out to like an event with friends. I go out to a family event, and someone would be like, yo, I read that blog post you did about the new Comcast Center going up, and that was really well done. Yeah. And I'm like, you read that? Yeah. They're like, well, I read all your newsletters. Yeah. Because the newsletter was the vehicle for that content. So even with you, and we've talked about this before, you haven't done content marketing as much as I have, which is probably why when we started talking about the podcast, you were kind of like, I don't know, I don't really do that. But with you building your business, you've also done that through relationships. And I said it on a recent episode, being present. Like you're very present in the lives of, you know, your friends, your family, clients, you know, other businesses, you know, neighbors, coworkers, other parents at your kid's school, like going to games, like all that. You do that really well. I feel like that is something that most can't do.
We talked about this before about like doing different things like networking events and big events, smaller events. And I've always kind of like found my lane, or like what I enjoy doing the most is this smaller stuff, you know, going to the small events that allows you to, like our happy hour was great. Yeah. It was small. You could kind of get around to kind of see everyone that was there. Yep. And so those things I do enjoy doing, to get out and, you know, see people, talk to people and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, even like if you're not a content marketer, if that's not the approach that you have in business, but you're into relationships, you're trying to build your business through relationships, referrals, repeat clients, clients for life, or whatever you want to call it, like in-person networking is a great way to build your business, build your network. And I feel like you've done a ton of that. And we had our first, as Sean said, our first Bricks and Risk happy hour, where we just brought people together who have either been listening to the show, watching the show, family, friends, clients, people in our industries that we just do business with, that we communicate with, we share tips and tricks. And having all these people at the happy hour, I remember a few people came up at the happy hour and they're like, how'd you get this many people in a room together? Yeah. Like whatever it was on a Wednesday, you know, in November in Philadelphia, well, the suburbs of Philadelphia in Fort Washington. What's up, McGurks? And it was like, we're always more the high quality. We want the people there who want to be there. Don't just fill the room with bodies. Don't just bring a lot of people that are just going to be there so it looks impressive.
Take a picture.
Yeah, you get a picture. Oh man, there was 50 people there. No, high quality. It's like this content, even doing this podcast at Young Junk, we believe in the quality over the quantity. Even us doing this live right now, I don't care how I look right now. I mean, Sean's kind of like looking in a mirror right now, and he's like, wow, you're looking sharp, Tim. But
pretty fabulous.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because the people that support my business, the people that support your business have done that for years. They're consistent like we are, and we take care of them just like they take care of us. So it's been phenomenal.
Hey, Dill, I'm going to catch a cold here, man. This is like a pop quiz. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Any memorable moment or favorite moment
Oh, yeah.
for 50 episodes of Bricks and Risk?
I don't know if the episode came out yet.
Oh,
Can I talk about something
Yeah.
from an episode that didn't come out yet?
let's go.
Yeah.
Fire.
When you were talking about how you failed Dare.
Oh, yeah.
in elementary school, that I'm pretty sure you can hear me laughing in the background of that short too, because that
St.
took
Luke's?
me out. Yeah, that
St.
took
Luke's
me
and
out.
Glenside? What's up?
No, it was,
What was it?
Gwynedd, Mercy.
Oh, it was Gwynedd.
Yeah,
What's up, Gwynedd?
it was, this is honest to God, true story. Ready? So that was true, right? So the police come in, they distribute, they do a class, everybody gets a certificate. I didn't get one. I was the only one that didn't get one.
Shocking.
But the other day, so I don't know when we taped that, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So the officer, his name was Officer Kenny.
Okay. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is obviously etched in the mind of Sean Mooney for the last 30 plus years.
So me and my son were picking up La Colombe's at Giant the other day.
Okay.
We pull in at the Giant across the parking lot is Officer Kenny's Christmas tree stand where he sells Christmas trees like during the season.
Really?
Yes. He
Was
comes,
this in Flowertown?
Gwynedd.
Okay, up in Gwynedd. Okay.
So he comes walking out.
No way. Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious. This is an absolute true story. He comes walking out. It must have been his grandson that he was with. So I'm walking this way with my
What
son.
day is this? How long ago?
This was like a week ago.
Okay.
I'm walking this way with my son. He's walking this way with his grandson. And I said, "Hey, Officer Kenny." And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And we started talking rapping for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh,
I didn't bring up the fact that he failed me
Okay.
for Dare.
Did he fail you or did you fail? Which one was it?
I don't.
Was it the chicken or the egg?
I probably fail. I'll take the.
All right.
I'll take the lump on that.
Good man. Officer Kenny's innocent. That's awesome.
What are the odds?
Oh my gosh, with your son, dude.
So listen, if you need a Christmas tree, go up to Officer Kenny's stand next to Giant and go buy a tree.
Where is it in Gwynedd?
It's right at the main point there where it's like Penland and
Oh yeah.
Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And so then that Giant's in like the next shopping center that's like right above it.
Yeah.
Across the street from the police station.
How old's Officer Kenny these days?
I've never been there, except one time when we bought beer at House of Pain. That's a different episode.
Okay,
different
we'll
show.
save that one.
What did you say? How is Officer Kenny?
How old is he now?
I don't know. So if he was like probably 25, 30 plus however many years I am when that was like 5th grade.
We're gonna find a way to have Officer Kenny write a fresh Dare certificate and have Sean be an honorary
Yes.
graduate of the Dare program.
If I buy a tree
at age 45.
can I get a certificate? I should have asked him that.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right,
Yeah,
you want to
true
close this out?
Thanks everyone for tuning in today. What an awesome event. We got a lot of support to get this up and get this going. So special thanks to everyone that's out there and have supported the show up along the way for the last year. We can't thank you enough. It's been a tremendous boost for Tim and I to get this thing going and
Absolutely.
keep it going.
You want to give him the stats?
Stats. Stats? We don't have stats.
Oh, you can email us at bricksandrisk@gmail.com.
Where's the best place to go? We can't get through these comments. We're going to have to cut it short, but maybe we'll reply back.
Yeah, we can.
After the show.
And then also, you can give us a review on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. If you give us a review on Apple, it can be a written review. We want to read it on the show on a future episode. So
Just like Strauss
take the time.
Mortgage.
That's right.
Left a review.
What's up, Chris? Thanks for your support, man.
Talked about it.
Yeah. Close us out.
All right, everyone. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all B&R episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.